Hello everyone, how are you? I'm good. My name is Utando Ngunezi for those of you who do not know me, and for the returners, welcome back to the channel, you guys. Yes, and to the new subscribers, Nyanmona Gazi, and thank you so much for the support and choosing to stay. So again, I'm Kanja, guys. We will be carrying on with the Uncomfortable Conversation series. This is episode 3 of the Uncomfortable Conversation series, and today we are talking accountability. Yes, holding yourself accountable. So yeah, for those of you who are still interested, please keep watching. So in today's episode, we will be talking about holding yourself accountable. Now, today's episode, apologies to those of you guys who do prefer that I sound a little bit more unscripted, because today will be one of those days where I actually do sound scripted, because I do have notes just to track me and ensure that the video is not too long. Accountability in terms of this video is about saying that I have, done something or tried to do something or did not try to do something, and these are the results, and I'm not happy about them. But if I'm being honest with myself, this was my contribution towards the result, or my responsibility in terms of how things turned out. So yes, that is the description of accountability in terms of this video. Okay, so I've sort of set out different categories where I will be able to give examples, some pertaining to myself and some just generic, on how you can hold yourself accountable, or the questions that you can ask yourself in order to find out what did you do that contributed to the end result. So first of all, it is about work. There are many examples in terms of work, but I have picked one where they have, disciplined you. If you all watched my video on my first day in real work, I do have an example of when I was disciplined, and then I had to go back home and think, like, what did you do? Like, do you think you were wrong and whatnot? And I really did find myself accountable in terms of this situation, because when when you recap, yes. So when I recap the whole situation and I, pressed the replay in my mind, and I was like, okay, when Natando, what did you do? Okay, and then I found out, actually, no, Miguel, maybe this is what you should have done. Maybe this is how you should have tried to do things. But yeah, at the time, that was the decision that I took. And so for any repercussions that came with that, I would have taken them, because yeah, I realized, I was wrong. And then there's also, because I'm on contract, right, I always ask myself that depending on if the work that I have done so far was to be considered, if I were them, would I retain myself? And unfortunately, at the moment, the answer is no. I wouldn't retain myself, because when I evaluate myself as Utando, I see that girl, you did not do well. There's nothing, standing out about you. There's for them to get to a point where they say, we need to take this person, because it will be very hard to find a replacement for them. I haven't been that kind of person as yet. I haven't provided that kind of contribution in my workspace. And then there are reasons why I have, penned it out in my head when I was, thinking about the whole situation, that it's probably because of A, B, C, D, and E. And then I have a plan to how am I going to change this, and how am I going to be more visible in terms of the workspace, and for them to get to a point where they say, we really would like to keep this one. Yabon? Okay, so in terms of work in a generic form, manje, there is indaba unemployment. Unemployment in South Africa is huge. We all know that, and we know how hard it can be. But at times, I do feel like people are not being honest with themselves and asking themselves, am I trying hard enough? Am I knocking hard enough on certain doors? Am I actually knocking on doors? Like generally, am I even knocking on doors? Which means, am I applying hard enough? Am I applying for the jobs that are more likely to take me? Am I being at a point where I'm saying I want to grow? I'm not being too picky about the jobs that I apply for. Yeah, so there's all those things. Did you it's not even about did you try, it's about, are you trying hard enough to not find yourself in this situation of unemployment? And then start giving yourself the answers, and whatever answer comes from there, whether it's a yes or a no, then start stating the reasons why, and then you will see okay, I am actually trying hard enough, or I'm not. Yeah, so I remember when I was unemployed, I did spend a good, was it 4 months, three months unemployed. And for the duration of the year when I was employed, and between the gap where I was unemployed and employed, I did work harder to find employment at the point where I was unemployed, rather than at the time where I knew that my contract was about to end and girl, do something. Yeah, I didn't do anything about it. I did apply here and there. I was very picky about the places that I went to. I was like, this one is not mine. So luckily for me, I tried hard, and my first shot at an interview, I got something. So I didn't remain unemployed for a long time. But unemployment does require a lot of persistence. A friend of mine says she went to about 10 interviews before she got her job, because that's just interviews. It's not all the applications she put in. It's just interviews alone. My mom recently found employment, and if we try and compare her with all the unemployed people in the house, she was the one literally walking out almost every week trying to go and find something. If an SMS came through, one of those screen grabs, whether she thought it was fake or real, she'd go for it. She'd post. She learned how to use an email. She'd do everything in her power, and at the end of the day, she did get something. So it is about asking yourself, like, did I really try hard enough, or am I really trying hard enough to change the result of my situation right now? And then there is the part of friends, right? I recently broke up with a very good friend of mine. We'd been friends, I think, for longer than 6-7 years. I can't remember, but it broke off with like literally one incident, and it just went off. And then I had to start and think about it. Okay, what did I do? How did I contribute to the situation? And then I realized, you know what, Tando, when your problem is you talk too much, A, you talk too much, B, you are too honest when you speak, and the truth hurts, and some people don't like hearing that and whatnot. And then thirdly is that I do not consider people's feelings when I speak. If something is red, it's red, and if something is blue, it's blue. And so I have to be cautious in terms of my next friendships, and in terms of how I go about handling those situations, and trying not to tame my myself, and how I can sometimes be selfish and be bossy, or all those kind of things. So it's about getting to that place where you say, okay, there must have been something that you did in order to hurt that person so much that they decide it's okay, we call this thing off. And even in that very situation, there must have been something that I said that got her to that point where she's like, go. And I'm also like, go, because I'm that girl. When it's either I don't fight or I fight hard. So okay, that's where it ended up. And yeah, anyway, so but anyway, what I'm trying to emphasize is that thing of saying, fine, she and I had a fallout, I don't want to talk to her, she doesn't want to talk to me, but what did I do that could have contributed to the whole thing, right? And then I recently posted something on my status about 2 months ago and said I wish I had a better relationship with my siblings. And then one of my friends asked me, Guti, but what have you done to make it better? Yabo? And then she sent me back to that point again where I had to think about, okay, what did I do to change the situation, the relationship, the kind of relationship that my siblings and I have, in terms of me trying to make a contribution and saying, Mina, I've done so much, but now they haven't tried anything. I get answers again, yabo. And then I realized, I do not have anything, well, maybe something, but I do not have a lot that I can say, with Usman Bani, I tried this, with Usman Bani, I tried this, it didn't work, with Usman Bani, I tried this, it didn't work, like, and then I came to a point where I realized, actually, Tando, you are such an emotionally unavailable person. Like, guys, I don't know, I don't know it's the introvert in me, or it's just the girl that likes to push things and grind, and then the next thing you are so unavailable for everyone, and then they just distance themselves from you, and it never works. And so I think that's the thing with my sisters as well. I'm just emotionally unavailable, and I like doing my own things at my own time, cutting some time to call them and to do this. And it's the same thing with friends. My friends would tell you I never call, like literally I'm that girl who never calls you, because for me now, I'm just so emotionally unavailable. And that's why I always say it takes a lot for anyone to become umngani wami, yabo. So it's about that thing of constantly what did I wish Mina and my sister would have a better relationship, and my sisters would have a better relationship, but it's not the case. So what did I do? I have been emotionally unavailable. I haven't tried hard enough, and so it is what it is. Nabo, they aren't willing to try. I'm also not willing to try. So we don't move. We stay where we are. Okay, now the next one is relationships. So I recently I don't even know what to say, but I actually I think it ended. The relationship sort of ended with someone, with a partner, and then I had to ask myself, okay, how did we get here, and what was your contribution in terms of the whole thing? And then I got to a point where I realized that the actual problem is in the beginning. Okay, so first of all, I realized with girl, you were too much. I think I was sort of like waiting for someone to ask me out so much that when he did, I was just like too much. I was just like, I was too much, guys. When I think about it, I was just a lot. I would want to initiate conversations, and like that guy Shem did not have a hard time with me. I won't even lie, he did not have a hard time with me at all. Like second date was already intimate things. It was a lot. I don't know how I can explain this without indulging on too much information, but I was a lot. And he did not state his true intentions at the beginning. But when he did, like a month later into the relationship, and he told me that actually what I want to have with you is just some good fun, and I was just like, you can't have fun with me. And then all of a sudden I was surprised when he was acting like a person who wanted only fun from the relationship, while he had made his intentions. Well, a month later he did make his intentions clear that this is all I want, and this is how far I'm willing to go. But I actually wanted to stretch it, and I wanted to pull things out of him that obviously he wasn't willing to give me. Excuse me. And so it didn't work, because he gave his effort as far as fun was concerned, and I wanted in return effort as far as a real solid relationship was concerned. And so it didn't work. So I had to hold myself accountable for that. I was wrong, Nami, to not, if I wasn't interested in fun, I should have stopped the relationship right when he said, I'm actually here for fun and nothing else. But now, I tried to drag the relationship. I tried to put ideas in his head. Oh, maybe if you would, utatis tembo, maybe if we could try this thing out for so long, and maybe if the kids would meet, like, I was a lot, guys. I just realized, Duty, I was too much, and I actually, more than anything, scared him off. The last point is in terms of generic dreams and ambitions. Sometimes we dream and have this ambition you figure at a certain level to do certain things, but we never execute them. I think I had a long battle, because I am an idea hub. Like, I'm always having ideas, maybe this, maybe that, maybe this, maybe that. And so I got to a point where I was like, but Tando, you always have these things, but you never execute any of them. And then I realized, no, actually I'm very scared of trying something and it fails. And then I had to bring myself to a point where I'm like, failure is okay, anything you do, whether you fail, whether you pass, it's okay. It's the journey that is more important, because maybe you do not accomplish what you started wanting to achieve, but at the end of the day, whatever happens in between would have taught you so many lessons, would have introduced you to so many people and so much knowledge that it can help you, reach another sort of goal or milestone. So I got to that point, and then that's why now people are seeing me like as that girl who's just like, okay, if things are going to the next thing they see, oh, actually Utando is actually doing that. If things are going to Utando is actually doing that, because I held myself accountable in terms of these will all be dreams, and then the next thing you will wake up, you will be 40 years old, and you will regret not implementing any of the ideas that you had when you were 25. Yeah, so I started doing things, and if I fail, it's okay. We move. Okay, fine. So yeah, guys, I think that's about it for today. I think you now understand the concept of holding yourself accountable, and that you guys, I'm hoping that you guys will go back home and will be like, let me recap on certain things that don't make me feel good, and what I have done in order to contribute to that situation. And I'm hoping that you guys find your answers and you are able to carry on with this life thing, because wow, who rough, who tough, guys. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe, people. I really need those subscriptions, so please do subscribe. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I love you for it. Bye.